So this one's called Star Wars fans have ruined the franchise, but it does say for me, so it's not a necessarily a definitive and general one. But let's give this a shot. Hopefully this has got some different, more interesting arguments. I don't really know. Yeah. Oh, but thank you for letting me know, Trash. That was very kind of you. I wouldn't have caught that myself. I completely forgot.
We've seen so many of these. They all just kind of blend together.
This looks like a dynamic individual.
Oh yes.
Right then, let's engage.
TV though.
Yeah, that is a fucking damn.
But he hasn't learned how to mount pictures on his fucking wall. Get a hammer and a nail.
Stop talking about it. I have it's still black screen for me. I haven't seen it.
Oh shit.
I'm getting left behind.
You're probably wondering.
Oh
why...
fuck, that is a big TV.
That is yeah, seriously. Like damn.
It makes him seem very small.
Well, maybe he is just really small.
Maybe.
He might be.
Maybe everything in the room is small too. Like just all those things in the background are just smaller versions of. You know what's annoying me? Those shelves. There's a lot of wasted space there. No.
Yeah, there is. You think he'd adjust those a bit?
That's like a PlayStation 2 game or Wii game, and look how big it is compared to the poor guy. He must be like 2'4".
No, he must be sitting down like crisscross applesauce.
He's a wonderful little hobbit. All right, let's roll it back. Here we go.
You're probably wondering, why is this video in black and white?
No.
And why am I wearing nondescript clothing?
Honestly,
nondescript clothing. It's just clothing.
Does he?
Well, hold up. Does he normally wear like?
Yeah, maybe he wears like fan stuff.
Goes around like Pennywise or something.
That's like the normal video.
Yeah.
Let me take a look. So he did a Back to the Future movie review on Classic Movie Night, and he's wearing a T-shirt that says Back to the Future on it. We got a Last of Us 2 review.
Crazy.
That is descript clothing, I suppose.
I think it's maybe he usually wears like Star Wars stuff. That would make some sense.
Look, going by the thumbnail, he just wears clothes. Oh, he's got a Mandalorian season 1 thoughts. I can watch that later and see how wrong he is.
You shouldn't put it like that,
he just wears
right?
like hoodies in just normal clothes. His video on the Last of Us Part 2 review is at 73%. So I wonder. Interesting.
Well, we gotta hear his Star Wars opinions first. Jeez. All right.
I'm just gonna get right to the point. This has to do with the Star Wars fan base. There's a reason why Star Wars isn't as fun to talk about anymore as it has been in the past.
The last Star Wars is shit.
I mean,
shit, mate.
Yeah.
There's still a level of fun, but yeah, he's right. It kind of sucks now.
Like we have fun when we talk about it. We have a gay old time. It's great. I love it.
He's right. Disney have ruined it. That's where he's going with this, right? He agrees with us. I'm sure of it.
He probably does. I mean, he's seen the films, right?
Since The Force Awakens, it's been, well, not really that exciting because the newer films have divided the fan base. Even if you like all of them or not,
is that our fault?
The vibe isn't really as fun anymore as it used to be. My pet peeve with Star Wars fandom has been going on since The Force Awakens, but truth be told, my breaking point arrived when The Last Jedi was released.
Yeah, that movie was bad.
Oh, it's him again.
This guy again.
This guy.
Hey,
Did he break it? Did he break it?
Well, he's got a bat now, so I assume
he's trying to hit a figure in a blister pack with a wooden bat. Don't know what you're trying to accomplish there, mate.
Why?
So before we move on, do want to point out also wearing nondescript clothing.
True.
Oh.
But he's not in black and white, in fairness.
He's not in black and white, no.
But this Civil War poster, I didn't notice it the first time, but I guess his wall makes like an angle.
A curve?
And so the poster just sort of curves.
But you could still have the poster just, you just need a bit more blue tack or whatever, right? You can get it to match the whole wall, even if it does curve.
Yeah, it's odd the way
you can see the shadow underneath.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Weird.
Just very, very odd, very unusual. At least he's a fan of Civil War, so he gets a pass in my book. If you listen, Man Who Hates Daisy Ridley doll, action figure. If you want to, you could be an honorary member of the Toxic Brood. You might be the first member of the Toxic Brood. Maybe
he could be our bodyguard. He could be like a sentinel.
Our bodyguard with his green bat.
The thing is, he actually managed to get the posters up onto his wall, though, so he's got more respect for me than this other guy. His fucking picture just lying on the floor.
That's how we judge Picture like VIP passes though to the EFAP building, and he's on the outside of it, the red carpet. Like, don't try and get in here without a fucking permit, and slapping that bat to his hand.
This fucking Chad right here.
This legend among men.
And he's looking at his OBS to make sure he's hitting it.
Yeah, you dented my
Look
bat.
at the
Look
product,
this.
dude.
Oh, his bat got dented.
That's dented. That means that bad
You are a worthless freaking piece of plastic. You're the worst thing I've ever seen.
That's the most pathetic reaction
I've ever seen.
I mean, it's pretty funny though.
Yeah, it is funny.
Yeah, for all the wrong reasons though.
True.
It's not
And
like
freaking
it's
Star
comedy
Wars.
gold. It's like it's tragic.
Comedy brass, comedy
This guy's-
aluminum.
I mean, to be fair, I've seen a guy openly sobbing at TRS, like the trailer.
Oh
Remember
yeah,
that dude who was doing the
yeah.
line? That could be.
dude, those are
that
the
could be a contender.
two ends of the scale. It's like the guy who wants to attack and kill figurines because of the movie, and then the guy who cries in awe at just the trailers.
That was really shit.
They're both Chads, okay?
You're the worst character. I hate your face. I hate you, Daisy Ridley. You're a freaking
no,
piece
it's
of
not
garbage.
Daisy Ridley's fault. Leave
No,
her
it's
alone.
not at all. Honestly, please, the writers could have had to do anything.
I hope your career dies in 2020. Go screw your.
Oh, I don't like this
That
guy
harsh,
anymore. I don't like this guy anymore.
She's probably
he's a
gonna
bit-
be.
He's a bit unhinged. A little
She's
crazy.
had Disney trilogy dollars. I'm pretty sure she'll be fine.
Yeah,
No.
but raw human. and
No, of
she's
course,
a
that's kind of what I'm
insane.
saying. Like, I don't think her career, like, it'll be fine. She was in that.
To
She
be
was
fair,
in
I
that.
don't think Daisy Ridley has lost any sleep because of this dude.
From what I can tell, the Star Wars actors from the sequel trilogy didn't even like. They don't even care to carry on with the sequel. Like, they'll just keep doing whatever the hell they want, probably.
Look, Daisy Ridley died in a TV show in the UK, and she's naked on a slab. So you can live out all your Daisy Ridley fantasies just by that one scene.
Well,
Just seeing her either naked or dead.
That felt like a non sequitur, but okay. Her career is unlike her performance in that TV show, alive and well.
There you go. So he could just but what I'm saying is he could go watch that and just be like, "Hey."
Well, he would want to kill her
again.
again, apparently. He'd like be hitting her
Oh.
corpse with a green bat. It's like, no, stop it.
Yourselves, Disney. I hate you. I hate you.
I hated it. This movie took everything that you like about Star Wars, that you love about Star Wars, that you thought you knew about Star Wars.
I could have sworn. I feel like I know this
This
one.
guy again. This is the guy that was segueing from the other one,
Yeah.
the other video.
Are we just using the same? Is this like the same clip?
But I was having a different memory. I could have sworn Major Lee uses these as examples in his original
This is like a
video that we
mind
covered
fuck.
in like
I can't
EFAP
remember
10.
If
This is like a
deja
nostalgic
vu.
episode of EFAP. We're having memory-tisms, flashbacks.
And it's not. It's the weird. It's the editing on these is both very very similar. It's the same two people.
I'm almost certain this guy was in Major Lee's video. This exact clip, not the one who beat the toy, but this one.
And it on it, and it on it again, and then it sets it on fire, and then it on it again. And
Well, okay, so that guy.
Not wrong.
I mean,
Yeah, named a lie.
okay, so if you're like, your criticism is like, look at these angry people, they're ruining the discourse, and the clip is, it shits on it, and it poops on it, and it burns it, and it shits on it again. Wouldn't the equivalent in reverse be, it's the most incredible thing ever, it did amazing, it's the best thing ever? But you're never going to
No,
catch
it's okay
people...
when it's positive.
Yeah, that's you. Everyone knows where I was going with that. It's just like the idea that someone goes, "I hate discourse around this film because people are just not having discussions." And you play clips of people being like, "It's amazing." It's like no one does that. It's because it's being mean. It's not being, you know. I just think it's lame. It's not consistent. It's just because people didn't like your movie. That's why, isn't it?
I'm not hating on this because I don't like where they were taking it. I'm just hating on it because so much of it was just poorly thought out and poorly written.
I honestly
What was wrong with that?
Yeah, what was wrong with that? That seems like a really. I agree, 100%.
Analysis.
I assume that
Yeah.
was his point, and then he was going to move on to explain it. I don't know. Seemed fine.
feel like I could have wrote a better movie. Like, what the was that?
It's not the first time this has happened, though. Are people forgetting the reactions to the Star Wars prequels?
Star Wars: The Phantom Menace.
What? Okay, what are we
So
doing
what's
now?
what's he trying to
So
say? Like,
Yeah, I don't. What's his point?
so there was discourse around the prequels as well, and they were quite contentious, and
I mean-
people argued over them. So, like, why is he so bothered now?
I want to put it out there. I much prefer people actually like you know, like, nah, shit, no, it's good. Let's have a discussion instead of just being like, no, you enjoy what you enjoy, I'll enjoy what I enjoy, okay? Oh.
Also, so Plinkett's first Star Wars review for The Phantom Menace was in 2012, and the original upload date was 2009. So that means it's what? When did Phantom Menace come out?
9 years after. 99, yeah.
99, yeah.
All right, so 10 years after it came out, we got Plinkett's review, as opposed to instantly and right off the bat, people hate TLJ.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I don't. Even if his argument was like, there's people who hated Phantom Menace from the get-go too, I'd be like, okay, I don't know what that proves.
Also, Phantom Menace is terrible. So what's your point?
I mean, I guess like the whole landscape of like being able to argue about these films has completely changed since 2009.
True.
You know, we didn't really have Twitter or things like that back then. So now the ability to argue is much broader. So, like, it's not necessarily something inherent to the Star Wars fandom. It's any movie, any franchise,
honestly, I'd argue it's people.
Yeah.
Especially when you have them in great numbers, because then, you know, factions form, essentially. Like, people who thought it was good, people thought it was bad, and then everything in between, as opposed to just noise.
And in 2009, we didn't think we were ever going to see another Star Wars film either. So
True.
This was the most disappointing thing since my son. I mean, how much more could you possibly f*** up the entire backstory to Star Wars? Nothing in The Phantom Menace makes any sense at all.
Is this, like, what's the problem? I'm confused. He's just...
there's a lot of issues.
He needs to make a point quickly.
Yeah.
Comes off like a script written by an 8-year-old.
I think I deserve a public apology from George Lucas.
I imagine George in a crystal castle drinking margaritas, lying on a bed made of people.
A lot of people...
lying on a bed made of people.
That is Chad level description right there.
That's not a bad line, man.
That's funny.
People view George Lucas as the Antichrist.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, calm down.
All right. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Interesting comments.
Has he fulfilled his destiny, or has he destroyed his legacy?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. You know, I would be like, oh, that's going a bit far. But I mean, if it's for lols, I don't really care.
Yeah, yeah, I don't care. Fucking
Like, raped our childhood. You're like, all right, chill out.
Maybe just molested it a little bit.
It's nice and catchy though.
Yeah.
The song George Lucas Raped Our Childhood was stupid then, and it's stupid now. But
You
now
tell them, guy.
You got it. You nailed it. I'm sure they. All right.
newer films coming out, people are looking back with rose-colored glasses and now saying that the Star Wars prequels are actually legitimately good movies. Now the
They're
prequels,
not.
No, they're shit.
They're not. They're really bad. They're just not insultingly bad. They don't destroy Star Wars bad.
This is why we, good and bad. You have to dig a little deeper when you get two bad things. You're like, wait, but this kind of bad is a special kind of bad.
Yeah. At least George Lucas clearly made these original prequels. The original prequels. Well, I guess that's right. He made these prequels, and they didn't come from a place of I hate Star Wars and I want to fundamentally change everything about it, and I want to take a dump all over everything that's been, brought up before it. They're just bad from writing standpoints mostly.
Yeah, I mean the overarching concept behind them is perfectly good. It's just the implementation that's bad. Whereas with the sequel trilogy, every aspect of it is bad.
Yeah, and I would even say that the prequels were successful in some elements of implementation. Like, while the sequels,
Absolutely.
I don't know that they succeeded at anything. It's like, was anything working? It's like, well, maybe one or two things about it.
Yeah, I certainly think that the prequels, were certainly better off for them, for having them,
Absolutely,
in terms of what they did to expand the lore and all the stuff that spawned as a result of that, in terms of games and books and expansion of the universe and the new era and all that sort of thing. But the sequels are just dead, empty, husk sort of anti-world building, creative, very, very empty. Like, they didn't do.
They just fucking salted the earth, didn't they?
Kind of, yeah, they did. We're sort of left at like a now what stage. We're like, okay, now what?
Yeah, and
where are we now?
I don't know
where did this
who
get
would
us
want to
to?
carry it on even, because it's just like, wait, now what do we do? Something completely different, I suppose. That's the only answer.
George Lucas raped my child.
Do have their fans. I'm not saying anything against them at all. For myself, they have their moments. As movies, I don't really think they quite get Star Wars. Still, the various fan reactions.
But TLJ does. Ooh.
So yeah, I'm curious when you say that the prequels don't get Star Wars. I don't even think that I agree with that.
No.
I think I'm trying.
Well, what does it mean to get Star Wars though?
It doesn't like the idea and the concept is fine for the prequels, in as much as the disillusion of Anakin and the turn to the dark side. The implementation was poor because they focused on probably the wrong elements of it.
Yeah, I think it's what happens when you don't have like when George Lucas is given too much to do. You know, when he's not just producing high level ideas, but he's actually doing all the script writing and the directing. You know, that's beyond his skill set, and that's why the prequels turned out the way they did. But if you'd had him just given the overarching concept for it, and then you had really good script writers with good directors, they could have been brilliant. There's no reason why. You know?
Yeah, and also you needed better directors because his directing was very bland.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So you needed better. Yeah, that's so the concept that he gets Star Wars. It felt like Star Wars.
Wasn't good at it.
Not like Star Wars.
I don't know. It's a little bit wishy-washy for me. I'm not sure what I would class as getting Star Wars and not getting Star Wars at that point. Just be like,
I think this is just the classic dismissal, isn't it? Like for like you know, you didn't like TLG, nah, you just don't get Star Wars. Like you never understood it.
If it was reverent to
give me
the
something
source
more than that.
material,
it was what? Sorry.
Maybe it's like reverence to the source material or faithfulness to the source. If that's the case, then the prequels certainly do way better than the sequels do.
Yeah, I would say that
the sequels almost seem engineered to ruin the old stuff.
Yeah, like I would be okay with that kind of metric. It just feels like he's looking to say something without really saying anything. I would be curious to poke him on it. I'd be like, what do you mean?
He's said nothing so far. He's said absolutely nothing.
Hey, look, he highlighted people are assholes. All right, so we got that.
Reactions at the time were pretty negative, and I guarantee you that if social media was around back then in 1999, 2002, and 2005, it would be the exact same thing that we're seeing today. And yet, people
probably, but that's also
what does that
to
mean?
A degree, sure, but remember the prequels were bad too.
Well, that's what I'm confused about.
Yeah, so it's the fault of social media then, or at least that's the reason why the arguments have become the way they have. You know, so it's not unique to the Star Wars fandom. It could happen to any fandom.
It's happening to loads of fandoms right now. Doctor Who, Game of Thrones, fucking
Star Trek.
Yeah,
Star Trek. Yeah.
To a lesser degree, I suppose, but like, you know, Toy Story have had a bit of a bump with the fourth one. A lot of people upset. Different fans getting splintered off and stuff. Terminator. Predator. I'm sitting here like, I don't understand. Like, why do you think this is special? It just feels like it's just people, you know, discussing the thing, and social media has accentuated that process.
I mean, if it was better, then our discussions would have more optimistic conclusions.
Like, if he's annoyed at how there's some people out there who don't really have discussions and they just go like yell and break toys and stuff, I'd be like, I mean, okay, you know,
yeah, sure.
Just avoid those ones.
Me to do about them?
Yeah, just don't watch their videos.
Mm-hmm.
Are looking back on those three movies and acting like they were actually good. Well, the prequels are actually a good story by George Lucas, and they were well told.
He's mad because I get him.
A good story, well told.
People are going,
the prequels are better than the movie.
I'd just be like, I assume he's annoyed that they're considered better than the sequels, but they like absolutely are. There's just not even a competition.
Yeah. And that's saying a lot.
I'd watch the prequels before I watch the prequels before I watch the sequels again, and the prequels are not good.
Yeah, but they don't make you actively angry by watching them. I think that's the key difference.
Yeah, they don't shit all over the things.
There are elements which are fun. There are a couple of
sure. They don't destroy Luke, Han, Leia, the Force. Well, some people argue that the Force gets damaged by it, but space battles are intact.
Obi-Wan Kenobi's pretty fly.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think with the amount of Obi-Wan Kenobi in the prequels, like, oh, did they ruin him? It's like, no. He's actually pretty cool. I like him. It's good shit.
Came out pretty pretty well.
Yeah. So, you know, and then you're like, how did the sequels do? And you're like, oh.
The Darth Maul stuff was actually really cool.
I mean, most people like Darth Maul, even though he's like the thin as fuck character-wise. Like, yeah, but pretty cool.
Looks cool visually.
Like Darth Maul, they don't give a shit about the Knights of Ren.
He's a Boba Fett. Looks cool.
Newer films are the ones that ruined the Star Wars franchise, not the prequels. And
I mean, yeah. If you're gonna pick one trilogy that destroyed Star Wars the most, I feel like it's got to be the sequels, isn't it?
It is the sequels, undoubtedly. Because even if the prequels are bad, they sure didn't destroy Star Wars.
I would fully argue they bolstered the shit out of Star Wars. Like, Star Wars as a brand, it's just spread all over the place when the prequels came out. It was all kinds of content, all mediums.
And from what I'm aware, because I haven't personally seen them, but from what I hear, Lucas was very involved in Star Wars Clone Wars, which really fleshed out the story and probably did it the justice it was meant to have in the
well, you hear all kinds of praise from fans for the Clone Wars specifically, so yeah, it's I don't know, I don't even think you can argue that the prequels destroyed Star Wars at this point. If you look back on just in like a sense of IP and franchise, just like, yeah, the prequels kind of helped them out. There's no real way to look at it otherwise.
But people still wanted Star Wars after the prequels.
Yeah.
Now people are just like, I just don't want fucking Star Wars.
Now people are terrified. They're like, what little left we have that hasn't been ruined. It's so precious as a result.
It's like the door bursts open, Dad is holding a belt, and you're in the corner like, please no, Disney, please.
Daddy's
not again.
I could still fuck Lando up a bit more.
No, Daddy, no, Daddy, no.
It's like,
please.
no, you've destroyed them all. It's too late. And he's like, you remember Jabba the Hutt? I'm gonna ruin him. You're like, no, not Jabba.
He's gonna be gay in the next film. Oh my god.
I thought he was dead.
Nope, he's alive and he's gay.
I guess it wasn't confirmed.
He's alive and he's gay. Yeah. He's alive and gay.
Do you know who his boyfriend is? You're like, who? Bib Fortuna.
Yeah.
No. And they make little rancors. That's the creature that they spawn. It's beautiful.
Oh my god, I think we've actually just given them an idea for the next.
I was going to say, these are always going to be used as ideas. You never know at this point. It could be anything.
Yeah.
And with the various reactions that we're seeing from the newer films, The Last Jedi, as I said, was my breaking point. Almost to the point where I couldn't even stand talking about Star Wars anymore, and I didn't even...
Okay, well then don't.
Terrible fucking audio, that's my breaking point.
He's like, I can't stand to talk about it anymore. It's like, okay, don't. You're fine. I mean, surely you could talk to people. There's those people who love TLJ. Just go find them. There's subreddits built for those people. It's this little rescue bubbles.
You have refugee camps and all sorts of stuff, and they talk about themes all day, and it's just great. But the themes,
support groups.
They share like low-effort memes about how lame all the haters are. It's like, yeah, you'll be right at home.
Yeah, I don't mind take the piss out. I don't mind having piss taken out me. Take the piss out me.
For sure.
He's a horrible Star Wars. Hate him, creepy man.
That man, he doesn't like Batwoman because he's a sexist. Stop him.
Yeah. He's a bigot because you don't like the lesbians.
It's true. You should be pro-lesbian, come on.
I watch a lot of lesbian porn, so.
But why didn't you like Batwoman?
Lesbian porn, honestly. Never was into it.
But what?
Nice here and there, you know.
But why didn't you like Batwoman then? What the fuck?
Huh? There wasn't any porn in it.
True. There's that one. They do the thing, right? Like when you have shows that are lower ratings and like age rating. Every character that ever has sex do it with their clothes on because that's just they have to, and it's just like, yeah. Humans don't typically do that. Just FYI.
And then children grow up thinking that that's the proper way to have sex.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and they'll start doing it with
Why
their clothes
children
on.
aren't getting born?
Bother to watch a Star Wars movie, period, because I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to get any single negative point out of my head while watching them. And even with the original trilogy, that they somehow hold up on a pedestal like it's the second coming of Jesus.
I mean,
wow.
Well, no, see, that's where he's wrong. The OT was the first coming of Jesus. It's I mean, the film's pretty good. You know, the OT, it's pretty good.
OT's pretty good.
I give it a thumb up. Possibly two.
Watch the Empire Strikes Back, and I dare you to say, "Fuck, that isn't an unbelievably good film.
I dare you to say that it's not the second coming of Jesus. Like, seriously.
But this really does fall in line with what we see all the time from the sequel defenders as we gotta go, we gotta attack the OT.
Oh, it's a bingo card thing. It's like, when do they bring up the OT? It's like, the OT isn't perfect like you guys say it is. Okay.
Yeah. I guarantee you that if they were to come out today, they would probably be under the same level of scrutiny that they're putting.
They've always been under the same level of scrutiny. You pretend like we've never seen them since we were kids. That's like how it works, apparently. You know, like, do you know what Rags and I watched recently? Do you know what we watched recently? Terminator 2.
Oh, that movie was so good.
So fucking good. These are not movies we just watch once when we're 5 years old, and then a million years later we're like, yeah, I think it's still good. Yeah, it's still good. I think.
It was like, yeah, when we discussed Terminator 2, or in fact the first one as well, like a few weeks back, we were going for ages, just like point after point of like everything being so well constructed, well thought out, everything builds on each other, and it's like, yeah, that's a good film that holds up now. You can be realistic about these things.
It takes a while to, like, we didn't even cover everything. Like, it takes a while to actually break down all of the amazing things they did in both, well, in all forms of production. It was a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah, it was really great to watch. It was all so tightly packed, and so much work went into it. It's really, really refreshing to watch.
And then
the first film was a masterpiece in tension building.
Well, yeah, T1 and T2 are both fucking great, and then it's like T3, oh, T4, oh, T5, oh, T6, oh.
Oh my god!
Give it up already. Just stop. It's already dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, the implication being is just like, do you guys even remember the old films? Do you? That gets thrown around a lot. Even though I constantly use clips from the OT in my videos, and I'm like, I do often see them, yes, in clip form and in movie form.
Putting the prequel trilogy and the sequel trilogy and the spin-offs. And this is coming from a guy who actually thought The Force Awakens was a great return for the franchise. And yet there's so many people out there that think it's actually a bad movie.
Imagine my shock.
Yeah, Mahler, can you imagine that some people don't think that TFA is good?
You guys ever come across anybody who thought TFA wasn't that good? Anyone? It feels like it's an alien concept to me. Nobody, it's such a good film, Anyone saying it's bad? Wow, just, what the fuck? I don't know.
I'm genuinely struggling to understand how he's framing this.
Yeah, I'm actually curious what the overall point's going to be. Is it literally just, I don't like talking about Star Wars anymore?
Well, he's a third of the way done with his little presentation here, so...
And he still hasn't put that frame up. Still just sitting there.
I think his point's going to be...
Still mad about that.
People don't agree with me. That's his point.
Well...
That's what I think it's going. I think it's just going, I don't like people...
Why can't everyone agree with me?
Hey, man. How would you like it if everyone didn't agree with you? It'd be horrible.
Well, I mean, he could feel free to try and convince us that the sequels are actually amazing and the OT isn't that good. If he wants, he could try. He's got to hurry up, though.
I was just thinking, like, I wonder if anyone in chat is saying, like, they really like TFA, and I was like, wait, this is EFAP. I don't think I should be expecting anyone to say that. It's like, okay, fair enough.
Because it's too derivative of A New Hope.
People saw... It's not that it's derivative of A New Hope, it's that it's a really bad copy. It didn't copy it well. I feel like if it copied A New Hope well, it probably would have been a good movie. You know what I mean? Like, in terms of...
Look at this fucking dude's shirt.
Do you mean the fact that it's like
Kylo
a print?
Ren on my t-shirt.
Yeah, Stuckman's a prick, though.
I got my t-shirt with Kylo Ren on it and Captain Phasma, and on the back it's got all the Knights of Ren. They're so cool.
You're jealous, Rags, because he has the merch and you don't.
That's it. You nailed it.
Could you tell that he likes movies? Could you tell?
Yeah, I've never understood the point of this, like wearing t-shirts and stuff, like with the brand name of the movie you're talking about, as if people are going to forget what you're talking about while you're talking about it.
Well, to be fair, this is Chris Stuckman. They might actually forget what he's talking about, and they need a visual reminder.
That's the thing, man. I feel like it would be a good experiment to actually cut out the name of the movie from several of his videos and just replace the subject and see if it works.
It could be anything.
Like Star Wars or The Hunger Games Part 2.
But, yeah, you know, like, films that actually copy beat for beat a film that's well written story-wise, I like, surely, like, categorically it would have to be well-structured if it copied something well-structured. So we'd be sitting here like, well, you know, it's a complete rip-off, but it does it pretty well because these films exist. I want to say The Departed, isn't that based like almost entirely on another like Japanese or Korean film? And that's the same for I think Reservoir Dogs. I think a lot of that comes from another film as well. But there are films that like just remake, and we're like, yeah, they're good. It's just that they kind of rip off it. TFA, it's not just that it's the same as A New Hope, because if it were, that would be okay. But it's not. It fucks everything up because it's trying to be the same thing, but also move on. As someone just said in chat, what Muller's essentially trying to say is that it would have been good if it was good. It's like, yeah, I think
kind
that
of
gets my point across.
I thought it was fine. I thought A New Force Awakens was fine, but I think I was I was happy to see Han Solo, being Han Solo.
That film
cheeky.
is pretty good at making you feel like you got what you wanted. I would probably say that.
I don't know if I fell for, I think I fell for the member berries.
Mm-hmm.
I think I fell for the trap. But I don't think back on The Force Awakens as like a horrendous piece of dog shit like The Last Jedi. When I left that film, I was like, what the fuck have I just seen?
I mean, I totally think that's fair, but I also think it's totally fair to come away from TFA thinking, holy shit, what was that pile of dog shit? Like, what the fuck have they done? Because TFA is the one that changes the landscape to a point where you can't even recover, really. Like, no extra Jedi, Luke is deserted somewhere, Han and Leia have divorced, the world is in turmoil again as the Empire have basically risen, and the Republic are useless. It's like, damn, that's how I stay at the world.
I mean,
It kind of reminds me of that video that we watched a few EFAPs ago. I think it was the last time I was on, where the guy's entire thesis was predicated on just pretend that you like it, and tell yourself that you like it, and then everything will be fine. Like, as long as you don't think too much about TFA and just look at the pretty colors and stuff on screen.
You say that like it's not a good argument, you racist.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I see the trouble with The Force Awakens, but I was like hopeful of where it was going to lead. So I was kind of like, yeah, okay, well, Rey got the Force out of nowhere. Maybe, it was
I agree.
A Force adrenaline rush. So it would wear off. And,
it's JJ with his good old mystery box creating the impression that there's something really smart going on, that you're going to build up to some awesome revelation, and it absolutely never happens.
I think the common thing that's said at this point is like, well, fucking hell, JJ didn't leave the person taking over a lot to work with, and it's like, you could have done better than TLJ. Jesus.
You had a lot
he left tons to work.
That was the entire point of
I guess what I mean is like, he left you a lot of starting things. He hasn't given you flash and guides. He's just like, hey, mysterious black fog over there, go do something with that. You're like, okay, yeah.
But he gave Finn and to work with.
But see, Finn was already damaged in the first one. As a character, he's already nonsensical to begin with. You can still work with him, I agree with that, but you're still struggling. Like, if you wanted to,
it's better. You could have him have a good character in 2 out of the 3 instead of 0 out of the 3.
Well, I fully believe in repairing. Like, I seriously think it's possible with almost any story that's in.
He could have led a revolt with the Stormtrooper rank.
Well, apparently that was we read. Was it alternative leaks or something? Leaks where he was apparently supposed to do that originally in TROS, something like that. Like he and the other ex-Stormtroopers were gonna de-brainwash a whole bunch of Stormtroopers in the First Order.
That's where I saw it going, and you would have had this that's how they would have got a bulk of their army, because the rebels were so few, and the First Order just looked insane in size. So it would have created almost like a First Order civil war, and as much as you'd be taking over ships that are rebel. Now sympathetic to the rebels, and Finn would be actually leading them.
Yes,
I was hoping he was going to have Force powers, and he was going to become a Jedi as well, and we're going to have 2 Jedi.
Well, the way he's introduced kind of almost implies he's going to be the protagonist, because he gets so much screen time initially, and you think, this is interesting.
I think that was part of the disappointment with TLJ, was just like, what is Finn's fucking time in this movie? He goes on a weird adventure that leads to him killing Phasma, which was like, okay, that's that, I guess. And he learned to be like a full-on resistance person instead of his own dude. It's like, okay, that's him now.
Well, it's when Boyega was talking about it, and he's like, "Yeah, when I initially wanted to play Finn, I saw him as being really stern and gruff and aggressive and not good at opening up to people." And JJ basically took him aside and says, "No, just play it for comedy. Just be lighthearted and funny,
I honestly think is
you're a killing machine.
I think but I think that's a decision where JJ's like audiences will probably prefer that overall, but only in like a fleeting way. It's not a character that is going to stick with anyone. It's like you'll be in the cinema and you're like, hee funny Finn, hee fall over. That's, that movie was cool, and then a few months later you'll forget his name.
He was awesome. Like when he did the traitor thing, and he's just like, and they're all up for a right fight. Then
you could have a nice sort of balance between the three characters then. So imagine you had Finn being really stern and cold. You've got Poe, who's like the charismatic kind of flyboy type, who's much more upbeat, and then Rey, who's kind of in between the two of them, that balances them out. Then you've got like an interesting dynamic that you can play off with the three of them. But as it stands, you've got both of those male characters kind of acting in similar ways with a similar personality, and Rey just being kind of flat, and there's nothing to work with there.
I just love that TROS pretends that we've got that dynamic. It just starts with the three of them walking, and you're like, wait, what is this? And it's like, look how they argue. Look at how they conflict. You're like, what are you doing, movie? Like, don't lie to me.
Pretend that they've been through stuff together.
It's absurd. When you realize that Poe and Rey have had like 1 second of screen time together by the third movie, it's like, wow, that's amazing. And that's only because of the fact that they didn't even intend for Poe to live past the opening of TFA, did they?
Yeah, was it JJ took a liking to him or something? He's like, this guy can work well.
From what I read, he said to JJ that he's tired of being killed in all the movies he's been in lately. Can you not kill him, please? And he was like, okay.
That's a good enough reason, isn't it?
I mean, it staggers me, because it's like, dude, you just got yourself like millions of dollars just by saying that. Because you'll be in the extra movies. It's like, wow.
It's the fact that he gave so little of his shit about his script and his story that he's like, no, a major character that we're just going to chuck back into it. Fuck it, yeah, why not?
Well, that explains why he doesn't have much of an influence at all in the first film, then.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you say that he destroyed Starkiller, but I guess someone else would have done it had he not.
The mechanics of how he survived that crash.
No, it's insane.
And then came back.
Absolutely insane.
Boggles my fucking mind. I cannot understand it.
I can't remember. I remember reading.
TIE Fighter.
There's an explanation in one of the things, the third-party things. I can't remember if it was like a comic or if it was a game or if whatever it was, but I think it's that he dropped out like in a parachute or some shit as it was landing, or he crawled away and like he found someone, got some help, and then went back to the Resistance. And it's just like that's.
His actual dialogue when they reunite is like, "Oh, I was thrown clear in the crash and passed out, and when I woke up, you were gone." That was pretty much what he said. So, you have to assume that Finn would have searched the area pretty thoroughly around that crashed TIE fighter for his friend and just looking around for anything he can use. So he would have to have been thrown a good half mile at least to like be totally clear of that area, which would have killed him anyway.
Yeah, because Sandy's like a fucking brick if you land on that shit.
He rolled at an angle.
Then he would have to lie out in the desert sun all day. Until he eventually woke up.
Fine.
His jacket had to come off as well somehow, so that
what the fuck? I guess
it prevents. Kept him from getting too hot.
I'm trying to play this out in my head how the mechanics of this would have worked, and then he would have. He would have also avoided the stormtroopers, who presumably would have located that crash site and searched the entire area as well, so they didn't see him either. Then he wanders to safety, gets picked up by someone who eventually gets him back to the Resistance so that he can be there for the climax of the movie. That is a baffling series of events, sir.
All because they desperately wanted to. And it's so funny because like most people do agree that like Finn and Poe's chemistry instantly in TFA is like, oh, I like these two. I want to see these two do stuff, and then they're not together again for essentially 2 movies.
Yeah,
insane. Why do they get everything wrong? It's like you have subs, because I was saying earlier, like the prequels do some things well. It's like I guess the sequels do like very small things well here and there. It's just like, oh, if you'd only realized that as much as you were destroying everything, there was some stuff in there you could have used.
A good director would have seen the chemistry and been like, "We need to utilize this."
I mean, if you have
Daisy
Poe,
really didn't have chemistry.
But then, yeah, you know what would happen then? Everyone would be rooting for them, and no one would give a shit about Rey.
No,
That's
gives
true.
a shit about Rey now.
Well, I know, but like they at least were trying to float the idea that you can give a shit about Rey if we just keep everyone else separated, so they don't have too much fun together.
I was just thinking, let's just
fun
say
allowed.
Poe gets up with Finn. They both go to the village together, and then BB-8 somehow discovers with whatever scanner that Finn is actually a stormtrooper, and you have the dynamic of nobody trusts him except Poe. Poe has to keep advocating for him, and then we would actually give some character to Rey. Like the three of them being together throughout The Force Awakens is probably something that would work. I don't see why not. I mean, can you guys think of another movie that did that in the same series with three characters? Anyone?
You know what? You could practically just remove Rey and just have Finn be the protagonist and be the one with the Force powers, and him go on the journey, and Poe's kind of there with him. They can be swapping banter. There could be that conflict between them about Finn's past. There's so many things you could do, and you don't even need Rey at all.
Unfortunately, they just decided on making Finn
You're a sexist.
Rey's lapdog, essentially, right?
I know.
That's the joke everybody's caught on the internet. The amount of times Finn says Rey.
Yeah, he simps pretty hard for her.
Yeah. Didn't work out either.
At least he gets that big payoff at the end with
when he hugs him. He hugs.
Yeah, it's not even a hug they share. It's with Poe.
Has to be a three-way hug.
He's like, "Wow, all right then. I mean, this is progress of a kind."
They're about to break that hug. He's like, "Can we have a what? No, okay, that's fine."
It's literally getting cock blocked.
I kissed Kylo before he fucking died.
All right.
That'd be great. She just did that to his face.
Also,
he's looking at her, kind of hoping for a kiss or something. She just says,
"She finally kisses Poe," and Poe's like, "Wait a second, you taste like Kylo."
You know that guy that just has murdered billions of people throughout this trilogy?
Yeah, let's never go near that subject, huh? Let's avoid that one. I don't even...
All those planets he blew up and all those millions upon millions, probably billions of people that died.
For sure, yeah. Could have been, dude, if we're talking city planets, there could have been trillions.
And felt his dick.
5 city planets, that's a lot of people. Assuming that's what they were. But yeah, imagine her trying to explain that. I think she just wouldn't. Like, so what happened? She'd be like, well, Kylo and I turned up. He sucked us to death, but didn't. Kylo got thrown down a hole, and then I used the power of the Jedi and killed him, and then Kylo saved me from dying. How confusing is that? You'd be like, what the fuck? Like, how did any of that work? I don't know. Kylo, what? So he's dead, and the Emperor's dead. It's like, yeah, it's like, okay, fine, whatever. That's the important part.
The originals and went, I love the originals. People saw the prequels and said, I wish they were more like the originals. Now people are seeing Force Awakens and saying, that's too much like the originals. Make up your damn mind.
Right, because it can only be too much like A New Hope or not enough like A New Hope. There's just nothing else. This is why
Maybe
Chris
if the
Stuckman
first
sucks, by the
things
way.
that George made weren't so good, they wouldn't kind of be hoisted up as the primo example of what the potential could be.
Also,
Plus, when people say I wish the prequels were more like the originals, they mean in terms of quality.
Yeah, they don't mean like literal
we want to
copies.
tell you the same fucking story.
Need more Death Stars.
This fucking shot that he's taking, like he's combining two arguments that are completely dissimilar and reframing them to sound like they're just idiots, and it's from the same person too. Imagined. It's like
Stuckman's a dickhead.
Oh, what we wanted from the prequels was episode 4, 5, and 6 again. That's all we were after. And then we got it with the sequel trilogy, and now we're still angry? Wow, you guys are silly. It's like, okay. That's good shit right there, yeah, that's nice and simple.
Some good straw manning right there.
Minds.
And the studio heard you, and they decided to make a movie in The Last Jedi that went in the complete opposite direction.
They heard us. That's the explanation.
We heard you. We know that The Last Jedi is what you want.
Oh my god.
They knew it wasn't what we wanted, but it was what we needed.
Do you know what I can hear?
Yeah, you need
fucking air
this.
conditioning. That's what I can hear.
Star Wars needs this.
I just find it sad because we got blamed for that too with The Rise of Skywalker. They said that that film happened because people complained about TLJ. I feel like all of these are just results of the people in charge being like, I don't know, let's try this.
I couldn't possibly imagine what on earth anyone could have done with the third film after after the Last Jedi, because stupid roundhead Rian Johnson he blocked everything. He just cut every thread off with scissors.
Yeah.
And by
when you've already killed off your main antagonist, where are you going to go?
And there's no rebels left.
There's no rebels left. Your secondary antagonist in Kylo Ren is too weak to be any threat.
I was going to say, you highlighted all this. JJ had solutions. He spawns a resistance force out of nowhere. He creates a brand new enemy by resurrecting an old one. He retconned space battle logic so that they did, but it's all horribly done. But it's so funny that you can see in the mechanics of the writing that these were the actual issues Ryan left him with, and because JJ's just, I don't know, he could have tried a little harder with this, but he was just like, ah, fuck it. Like, this is the thing. I have sympathy for him with the hyperspace one, because what do you do with that? How do you fix that?
Yeah.
What can you do without breaking more things?
Do you mean the hyperspace tracking or the Holdo maneuver?
Funnily enough, I was talking about the kamikaze. Yeah, tracking's a whole other thing. He just ignored that one. He was just like,
fuck it.
Or then again, I guess you could argue the hyperspace sprinting or what it was called,
light skipping.
Light skipping, yeah, that's sort of an answer to the. If we assume it works by they can track one at a time, so if you skip, then they can't track you, I guess. I don't...
But then he introduces so many other things, like TIE fighters can now track you,
Yep.
Does everyone who goes everywhere have to do 50 light speed jumps in order to get to where they're going?
Like, how does it work? Do you not possibly kill yourself? Like, was he just lucky in the film when he was doing it, or was that planned? Because he seemed to think... How did he know that last skip was going to be the one where he would nail it, and that creature would just eat the TIE fighters because they didn't dodge it?
He's that good.
He's that good, yeah.
Listen, that monster, it's an old contact of his from his spice running days. And he knew that he'd have to, that big snake monster had a favor he owed him.
Need you to do me a favor, pal.
And so this guy's logic is like, okay, so they gave you the OT and you loved it. Then they gave you the prequels and you were like, boo, I want the OT. And then they gave you the Force Awakens and you were like, boo, I don't want the OT. And so they give you the TLJ and you're like, boo. And it's like, what in the world do you want? It's just like, I love that summary, as if that's what happened. It's like the most simplistic version. It's just this one fan who's saying all these things, and they, for some reason, listen to them, as opposed to it just being a fucking incompetent mess.
George Lucas came round to my house, not George Lucas, JJ and Kathleen came round to my house and sat me down over tea and said, so what do you want? What do you want in the next film? Well, this is what I'd like, Kathleen.
Too much like the OT, where? He's like, oh, all right.
Yeah. I want it to be like the original, but not like the prequel, but not like the sequel trilogy. Okay.
I think at the core of it, you can spot that people are saying, we want something good. How about that? Give me something good. Do it. I dare you.
Some fans accepted it, but a lot of fans screamed to the high heavens, this movie sucks, it's not like Star Wars!
Don't do the whisper yelling. Commit. Fucking commit to that shit. Don't whisper yell like a child. Fucking commit.
Also, the problem with TLJ, saying it's not like Star Wars, that's a lame... Get to there's actual points to be made, okay? It's not like Star Wars. What are you supposed to do with that? Be more specific. But of course,
tell me what Star Wars is... so I know what you're comparing. When you say that, I need to know what you mean. Because you might be working off of one idea in your head, and I'm working off my own, and we're talking past each other, and nothing's getting explained.
Nothing's getting done.
There's got to be a benchmark. There's got to be, ground rules as to what Star Wars is. Is Star Wars TIE fighters and X-Wings, space battle and big death machine at the end? Is Star Wars Jedi and Sith? And what is Star Wars? Can we have a disclaimer or something, please?
Well, because he's making the angry fan thing. So that angry fan's not going to have an argument, I imagine.
Really, isn't it? It's kind of
then fast forward about a few months later to the Han Solo movie, where the reaction was average, or lukewarm at best.
It wasn't very good.
We're closed. Force Awakens, too familiar. The Last Jedi, too radical. Solo, a Star Wars story, too safe.
No,
Too safe.
What the hell is this?
Fucking shit.
All right, so
What the fuck
if the
is
Force
this?
Awakens is too familiar, he claimed, and the Last Jedi is too radical, then maybe somewhere in the middle is where you need to go. It doesn't have to be one of the extremes. I know it's a shocking idea, but there was this massive space between those two ends where you could be.
Why is this the idea, though? Why is it about how much it's like the other one? Like, why? Since when was this the metric for how good a film is? How much it's like another thing? Like,
Just
what the
have
fuck?
it be good. Write it well. Have good
binary.
characters.
Binary.
This is what happens when you construct your narrative in advance of actually making your argument, and now you've got to try and fit everything into it. This is the whole thing that he's predicating it on. Is like, yeah, it's just you just want something that's more or less like the original trilogy. Like, no, that's not what people wanted. Like we said, they want objectively good movies. They can be as similar or dissimilar as you like. It doesn't matter. If they tell good stories, that's fine.
Well, elements of
we've
fucking
already
production.
mentioned a better story with Finn today. You know, I think we've already constructed what would have been a better story for that character.
Well, I mean, you know, people might call it hyperbolic, but I actually think doing anything else with Finn, Rey, and to a degree Poe, like anything else would have been better. Like what we got was possibly the lamest fucking shit. And that's pretty staggering.
I just did never underestimate them. I believe that they could have got worse.
True. I always have to remind myself that. I'm like, careful. Anything you liked about Finn, what if they took that away?
Put it this way, right? Look at Force Awakens, and then look at Solo. It can get worse. And that's with a blooming established character that's loved, that's turned into a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
That's the most expensive of all the Star Wars movies. It's pretty crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, they had to reshoot like 60% of it or something, didn't they?
Man, they should. I don't even know what the other version was. They should have fucking kept it.
Yeah, whatever it was.
I don't even care what it was. It was better.
What do you want?
We've been telling you that for a long time now.
Let's start here. Movie that makes sense. Just a storyline that follows cause and effect. How about that?
Yeah.
Just something like that. Doesn't even have to be complicated. Just try and do that. Give me one of those, please.
Hello, you just listened to a segment of the podcast Every Frame a Pause, or EFAP. Hosted by YouTubers Mauler, Rags, and Fringy, and joined by a cycling variety of guests across the internet, they critically analyze media with exhaustive detail while pausing at every single frame. Subscribe to the EFAP channel and catch new episodes on Saturdays, as well as catch their smaller videos reacting to the latest and not-so-greatest movies and TV shows throughout the week. You can also subscribe here to EFAP Highlights for the latest shorts, clips, and supercuts, also uploaded throughout the week. Links to all the relevant channels can be found in the description section below, as well as links to their communities on Reddit and Discord. Thanks for watching.